Hey, what's up guys, as you probably know, my favorite YouTuber here. It's been a while since I made a video just like this. So a while ago, a lot longer ago than I thought, apparently before I first learned to shave, way back in my review of Doctor Who The War Games. Hey there guys, and just letting you know that I think that I'm gonna learn how to shave now for the first time. I'm not gonna film it, because that'd be a bit weird. But I just wanted... I'm talking about middle of 2018. I made a video that was mainly covering DC, and I guess judging by the title of it, Marvel too. I'll put it in the link below. It's just like, what does it say? DC and Marvel timeline, then versus now. Way back when I looked like this, and had a really weird mustache.
Okay, that was the DC timeline. Jesus.
Yeah, learn to shave though, but jeez. Now anyway, like what is that? What? Why? Why am I so close to the camera? I look so creepy. Anyway, I was mainly talking about the future of DC and Marvel. But recently, Marvel went insane. I think that there is actually a huge chance. Well, okay, maybe not a huge chance, but I do think that it's reasonable to assume that Marvel might have gotten a little bit too confident and just started announcing a whole bunch of stuff. They just started saying, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this and this and this? So they just went ahead and announced it. And later down the line, along with their other 50 million billion things that they have ready to announce, I'm wondering if like a few of them they're gonna stumble, because that's definitely what DC did. They went ahead and announced a gazillion movies. You can go and watch my older video to see what movies they announced. Didn't they announce like a Sandman movie? I don't think that was even planned to be part of the DCEU. But then I don't think they really realized like, oh crap, we actually have to make the movie though. We can't just say, oh hey, this would be a good idea, and then just have the movie on screen. I remember there was someone who told me, actually, he wasn't telling me, it was like in a video or something. Someone mentioned that there was someone else who worked in the film industry for a while, and when he went and saw a movie at the theater, no matter how bad the movie was, he would always applaud at the end of it, because he knew just how hard it was to get any sort of movie off the ground. So even just being able to create a movie and getting it released on the big screen for people to see, and having the confidence to let the public see what you supposedly put your heart into, is a pretty big accomplishment in itself. Anyway, no more dawdling. This is everything that Marvel has announced at the time of me recording this video for Phase 4, Phase 5, and maybe even Phase 6 at this point with all this stuff. This includes the movies and the TV shows, what I'm ranking from my least anticipated to most anticipated. Please note that I haven't actually seen any actual Marvel movies except for Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Black Panther, not Thor Ragnarok, and Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and Spider-Man Far From Home. I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, or anything pre-Doctor Strange. Hey, subscribe and wait for those podcasts of me maybe talking about those movies as I watch them for the first time. But anyway, here we go. Oh geez, I don't even know what number this is, but... So at number 23, there's a lot of stuff, is Captain Marvel 2. I feel like there are gonna be, there are gonna be people who agree with me and just like, yes, he's on our side. And there are other people who might roll their eyes at me putting Captain Marvel 2 at the bottom. Well, I mean, a huge part of why I'm not anticipating it a lot, just a reminder that just because it's at the bottom of the list doesn't mean that I'm not interested to see what it holds. It's just that when it comes to comparing it against everything else that Marvel has announced, I'm looking forward to it the least out of all the other things. But that just shows how great the other things are. I haven't seen the first Captain Marvel movie, and from what I heard, it's apparently an average Marvel movie. Many people can probably agree that we haven't really had a bad Marvel movie since Thor: The Dark World, and then Captain Marvel comes by and hits our screen with the first average movie in a while. I remember I saw a movie talking about, top 10 things we hope to get out of Captain Marvel movie, and number 1 was we finally get a good trilogy, talking about how, the Avengers trilogy, the second one is considered a flop. In the Captain America movies, the first one's considered a flop. In the Iron Man movies, the second and supposedly the third, bit controversial, are flops. And Thor trilogy, the first and second ones are flops. And by flops, I mean like not really held in high regard, not considered to be the best Marvel movies. And he was hoping that Captain Marvel would come out with a sequel and a threequel, and they would all be amazing, and we'd finally have a good trilogy. Unfortunately, it seems like the first one can be considered a flop. Even if you liked it, it seems like the general public didn't really care for it that much. And frankly, I don't know what the sequel's gonna hold, but I don't really know anything. I'm just going by what I know. Maybe you guys have heard a gazillion other rumors and news reports or whatever. I'm just going from what I know. And I know literally nothing about this movie except that it contains more Brie Larson, who's everyone's favorite human on Earth. And I know that I shouldn't... The actress and the character are not the same people, but Brie Larson is annoying from what I've seen. Number 22 is... Oh, and Captain Marvel 2 is coming out November 11th, 2022, so it's a while away. Miss Marvel is number 22, and it's coming out in late 2021. Now, again, like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm really hating on Captain Marvel. I don't really know anything about Miss Marvel, so I don't really, like, it's like I'm not, this is just my anticipation level, and I don't know much about Miss Marvel, except that apparently she sees Captain Marvel as a role model, and apparently everyone hates her comic series, so who knows, maybe Marvel will do it justice. Who knows? I mean, they might. I don't really have anything to say about it. I've kind of ranted about why these are low on the list when I just talked about Captain Marvel 2, so let's just move on. At number 21 is Ironheart, coming out at an unknown date. I know nothing about it. Apparently it's a different superhero, and I think... Not that this matters, but I think Ironheart is like a female version of Iron Man, so, like, who knows? It might be good. Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel 2 are really the only ones that I'm not really looking forward to, mainly because I'm not a fan of Captain Marvel, and especially not a fan of arrogant Brie Larson. But like Ironheart, I got nothing against it because I literally don't know anything about it. This is like, even though it's only number 21 out of 23, this is like the average thing. This is the thing that I have nothing positive to say and nothing negative to say because I literally know nothing about what it will hold. Or what it could hold even. At number 20 is The Hawkeye Show, coming out in late 2021. Who knows, this might be great. I know Hawkeye has its critics and his fans and all that. I saw Avengers Endgame, obviously. I know that Hawkeye has a family and all that. Apparently this show is mainly going to be about him training his daughter to take on the mantle. What I find very interesting is that Black Widow and Hawkeye are like the only two of the original 6 Avengers that never got their own movie or show. And now Hawkeye gets his own show and Black Widow gets her own movie. But what fascinates me is that apparently in the first draft of Avengers Endgame, Black Widow was supposed to die. Spoilers, obviously. And I missaid that anyway, so hopefully you clicked away and then got away with the wrong spoiler, so it ends up surprising you anyway. Apparently in the original draft, Hawkeye was supposed to die instead of Black Widow, but then a bunch of apparently female writers were like, no, don't take this away from Black Widow. And I'm very glad that they did that, because, you know, I feel like it's kind of a stereotype that men have to constantly sacrifice themselves for women's sake. It was nice to see a female sacrifice herself for a male's life. But I feel like, you know, if they were originally planning for Black Widow to keep on living, it was like, what were their plans? Like, were their plans for always for the Black Widow movie to be a prequel thing? And this Hawkeye show, couldn't have even been thought of until they decided that Hawkeye would live on past Avengers Endgame. Because now we got this show about him training his daughter. I'm not really sure if I really want to watch 6 episodes of that, but who knows, maybe it'll be really exciting. At number 19 is She-Hulk, coming out sometime in 2022. Apparently she's a lawyer. I know that because of a throwaway line on The Big Bang Theory, a show that I used to be a fan of and am not really anymore. I don't really know what this show's gonna be, you know? Most of the reason why these things are so low on the list is because I don't really know what they're gonna hold, so I don't really have much to anticipate. But, like, it might be good. I don't know. I'm not one to say, like, oh, it's feminist propaganda just because, like, you know, first off, she's a character from the comics. I mean, all these are characters from the comics so far. I wonder if Marvel's ever going to resort to creating a brand new hero. Probably just release it in comics first so that they can advertise it. Isn't Miss Marvel, like, an incredibly new character? Was she even, like, in the comics at all before the MCU was created? Let's talk about how new she is. Maybe she wasn't even thought of before Captain Marvel came out. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. I just don't have anything to say about it at all. I had to go back and count because I didn't number these things. But at number 18 is Moon Knight. Another character that I don't know anything about until I saw a video from Comic Book Cast 2 apparently talking about how it's going to deal with mental health issues. Apparently something that not that many people are looking forward to, even though they want the MCU to get a little bit serious and not all lighthearted and goofy or whatever. This is also just a random TV show. Moon Knight might be in the next Avengers movie or whatever. Maybe they're not even doing Avengers movies anymore. Maybe it's going to be a whole new other thing or whatever. Maybe it's something that our tiny little brains can't even comprehend, which is why Marvel is announcing things so slowly. Who knows? Maybe they actually have 600 movies and TV shows, and they're just announcing them bit by bit by bit. Maybe these 600 movies and TV shows are going to come out within the next year. They're just saying that they're coming out in 2022 or 2023 just so that we can get our minds together. With the government and the pandemic, it'll end next month. Oh, we'll wait another few months. But as someone who I think, like, I don't really know, I haven't really been diagnosed with anything, but as someone who kind of self-proclaimed as depression and anxiety, I think it's safe to say that. I remember someone once told me that I think it's safe to say that everyone of this entire generation has at least some level of depression and anxiety. I'm excited to see how the MCU handles this. I don't know how Moon Knight connects to mental health issues, but apparently it's a big part of his character. Maybe he's bipolar or something, I don't know. At number 17, is the Eternals movie, coming out on November 5th, 2021. Again, I don't really know anything about these guys. Apparently a lot of people are upset because in the comics, I think there are a bunch of white dudes and a few white women, but instead they got a couple white dudes, a couple black dudes, a couple Asian dudes, and the races of females as well. The races of female. I don't really care about that, you know, I think that everyone gets their fair shot. I think there was even one character that was originally not a white guy, and they have a white guy playing him. So I don't really care about these whole gender swapping, race swapping things, whatever. I hope that we eventually resort to something like that. I hope that we eventually come to a world where we can cast a black Superman. I never want someone to be casted. I never want people to say we should cast a black Superman and then only look at black actors. I'm just talking about someone sits down, they look at a bunch of actors and actresses and decide, hey, let's have this guy play Superman, and he happens to be a black guy. And instead of the internet exploding over, oh, do we really need a black Superman or whatever, we just accept it because we're like, oh, he's a human, he was declared the best for the job, so it makes a good Superman. And the same with any other hero. The thing is that I don't know anything about the Eternals. I might be a complete idiot for saying this, but I feel like this is almost going to be our next Guardians of the Galaxy, and literally the only reason that I'm saying that is because it seems like it's going to be our first movie, like our second after, well, third if you count both Guardians of the Galaxy movies. But like, you know what I'm saying? Because Guardians of the Galaxy was introducing like a whole new family of characters. Fantastic Four isn't on this list. Or whatever, it's not really officially announced with the release date yet. Again, it's not on the Wikipedia page, so whatever. You know what I'm saying, right? Like, the Eternals seems to be like a whole family of heroes, and I'm looking forward to a movie where we get introduced to them all at once, hopefully Guardians of the Galaxy style, or maybe the Eternals are completely different. I don't really know. At number, I have to go by what I think. Number 16, I think, is Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings, coming out July 9th, 2021. So I don't really have anything to really look forward to. I know that he's apparently an Asian superhero, you know, Black Panther. I remember someone was saying, like, you know, Wonder Woman is the first female superhero movie besides Supergirl, Elektra, and Catwoman, which is the first good superhero movie, at least up until the third act. And Black Panther is the first black superhero movie, like with a black lead actor, in ever. Except for Blade. But I think this Shang-Chi is it? Literally the first superhero movie ever to star an Asian actor. I think. I know there was Japanese Spider-Man, but I think that's like a TV show. So, Other than that, I literally know nothing about this movie except that it's introducing the real Mandarin. I don't know who the Mandarin is. All that I know is that he apparently got revealed as some sort of faker in Iron Man 3. And now we get the real Mandarin. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing how the Cosmonaut Variety Hour reacts to us getting a real Mandarin after he keeps on defending Iron Man 3 for saying, it's okay that they brought in a fake Mandarin because whatever, blah 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 blah, it's okay to be different from the comics as long as you're making improvements, blah blah blah. I'm not saying that I disagree with him, just like, yeah, go watch his videos, he's actually pretty fun. He can contradict himself sometimes, but he's a lot of fun to listen to. At number, I don't even care at this point, but the captions are keeping track. We have Thor Love and Thunder. I was surprised when I heard this. When it got announced, it was like considered like the last movie of Phase 4, so it's essentially the Avengers movie. Because Phase 2 and Phase 3, I consider Ant-Man and Spider-Man Far From Home to be kind of bonus stuff. I know that, I'm not saying that they're bonus stuff as in you can skip it, even though I think you can kind of skip Ant-Man, really. But like, they're just considered like little like, because Avengers Age of Ultron and Avengers Endgame were the finales of the phase, and then Ant-Man and Spider-Man Far From Home were like a little, hey, here's another movie, just for you, a whole movie. But Thor Love and Thunder, to end on that, I mean, hey, it's the first time that we're getting a sequel, threequel, fourquel to something. We're gonna have the Thor quadrilogy. But apparently Jane Foster is coming back, who I don't really know much about. And she's gonna be wielding Mjolnir, which I assume it better freaking be. I really hope that it is. I hope that it's not that they just build another Mjolnir, because that would be nowhere near as cool as the idea of the Loki TV show. Because Loki's in this alternate timeline. I think it would be really, really freaking cool if it turns out that Loki, who's going around in this other timeline that was altered in the past, picks up Mjolnir at some point, and then brings it to our universe through the multiverse of madness or whatever. And then that's how we get Mjolnir back. I think that would be incredible. The Avengers Endgame time travel thing makes no sense. Back to the Future is not a bunch of bullcrap. At number whatever is The Falcon and Winter Soldier, coming out March 19th, 2021 to April 23rd, 2021. I didn't see the trailer for this. Maybe if I watch the let's watch the trailer.
The legacy of that shield is
Not bad. Like this, like ratio.
complicated. The world.
Yeah, the world is fricked.
It's upside down.
No kidding. No freaking kidding, man.
People need something to get behind.
2020 is the worst year. Disney Plus on your left
I need a symbol.
is one of the comments uploaded by Adam Afandi, whatever.
So what's our plan? So no plan.
That was funny.
Great.
I remember when I watched Deadpool 2 with a friend, and the scene with the guy who wasn't good at anything. He's just like, I just saw the ad, and then it shows him in jumping out of the plane. We laughed at that. It was funny. I actually saw it before, but then I saw it again with him, and he just repeated the joke to me. You know, like sometimes people will just repeat the joke that you just heard. Sorry, did I miss something important? Someone uploaded like a poll of what were you most anticipating it.
Going in that cyborg brain of yours. You don't want to know. Oh yeah, I can see it working. Gears turning. Oh, they're malfunctioning. They're on fire. God, I hate you.
Only on Disney Plus. Whatever. What was I saying? I was gonna say something. I don't know. Some good things have come out of 2020, you know, like, in the first 2.5 months, of course, were average. Christopher Eccleston's coming back, all this new Marvel stuff. What else is happening? I had like a little list of 4 good things that 2020 brought us, and I already just told you 2 of them. But the other ones were, what were they? The Snyder Cut of Justice League and Shrek being in the national film industry, right? But yeah. So I don't really have anything to say about Falcon and Winter Soldier. It just kind of like, you know, it was kind of weird because when I heard that when Captain America dies/retires, spoiler, either Bucky or Sam, I know his name, would have taken over. And the first thing that went through my head is, oh my god, because one's a white guy and one's a black guy. So it's like, if Bucky gets it, then they're going to be like, why is the white guy get it? And if Falcon gets this, why is the black guy get it? Falcon got it. Thankfully, no one's complaining, as far as I know. Marvel gave like a narrative reason why Bucky didn't get it. It makes sense to me, at least. And yeah, everything seems to be fine. I feel like I'm making a big deal out of something that I really shouldn't. But I'm not. I haven't really seen Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which is apparently where both of these characters get introduced, or at least where Bucky becomes a major player or whatever. But even then, he's not even in himself for most of the movie. I don't really know. I don't really know. You know, like, I'm sure it'll be cool. I'm sure there'll be epic scenes. You know, I'm sure it'll be cool seeing Falcon taking on the mantle as Captain America and having Bucky to help him. But the trailer didn't really tell me anything. It was just kind of exactly what I expected. Except, well, I mean, there was that funny line, but of course it's Marvel. At number whatever is Black Panther 2, or Black Panther II. They're using Roman numerals because I guess they were hoping that there would be a lot of Black Panther movies out there. Why does Black Panther 2 get Roman numerals and Captain Marvel 2 doesn't? You really just don't give a crap, huh? Iron Man 2 and 3 exist. Then after that they started just giving them names. Like, it isn't Avengers 2 or Captain America 2 or Thor 2. It's Thor the Dark World, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Avengers Endgame, Age of Ultron, sorry. Yeah, there's an article that apparently Marvel was planning to do Black Panther 3. But, you know, it seems kind of weird that they're going ahead with it after Chadwick Boseman passed away and they announced that they're not going to recast it. I feel a bit awkward. It feels like a very awkward position, you know, like, in my opinion, I feel like you should be able to recast it. You should be able to recast him because, you know, Chadwick Boseman and Black Panther aren't the same person, you know? If you want proof of that, wasn't there like a meme or something? I know that it might be morbid to bring up a meme over someone who's dead, but didn't it become a meme how, like, you know, people were asking Chadwick Boseman to do the Wakanda Forever pose, and he would just do it, but he'd look super depressed and fed up, like he really didn't want it. Like, you know, like, as much as everyone else, it's like, you know, like, apparently, like, when 2 celebrities are in a relationship, and then they break up, the fandom will often, like, blow up and be like, what the heck, these 2 people were perfect together, why'd they split up? When in reality, they don't know what those 2 people were going through. You know, like, 2 people in a relationship, they're not going to share even close to everything that's going on. And if they do share it, they're only going to share the absolute highlights. You know, it's just like the classic idea of how Facebook and other social media can cause depression because other people will see other people's posts. But people are only normally going to be posting stuff to social media if it makes them look like they're having a happy and fun life, which can lead a lot of people to think that that's all that person has, and then they feel depressed because they're like, why does this guy get to be happy all the time and I don't? When in reality, they're going through a lot of their own crap. It's just they're not going to want to release some private information to the public. Personally, I'm fine with kind of just telling anybody anything, but, like, you know, like, even I have some secrets about feelings and stuff like that. But, you know, like, Chadwick Boseman is probably best known for Black Panther. I definitely wouldn't know who he was if it was for Black Panther. I mean, who knows, maybe he would have done something else that I would have known him for, but, you know, like, we need Black Panther, mate. But apparently they're not recasting him, and, you know, I can't really say, like, how dare you, Marvel, that's stupid. Don't want to say that, because I just sound like a real jerk. I am just wondering, like, Black Panther was okay. I didn't think it was the best movie ever. I didn't think it was worthy of being nominated for an Oscar over Avengers Infinity War. And I didn't see Ant-Man and the Wasp. I heard it's alright. Which Ant-Man was kind of average, I heard. But the thing that I'm mainly anticipating is seeing how they handle it. Like, how are they going to make Black Panther 2? It feels like at this point that they're only doing Black Panther 2 because they already said that they would, and then Chadwick Boseman passed away. You know, like, normally the clever thing to do, you know? Because, like, I don't really know because I wasn't really alive, but even back in the 90s, wouldn't it be like you wouldn't even hear about a movie until the trailer gets released and you just happen to see it on TV? And there's movie previews and stuff like that. I remember seeing Ice Age 5 teaser in the movie theater and I was thinking like, oh my god, am I never going to be able to see that teaser anywhere else? And YouTube. But it feels like Marvel just kind of went ahead, got a little bit confident and said, let's say that we're now doing Black Panther 2, even though they weren't finished filming. And then the lead actor passed away, and they were like, oh crap. Well, we still have to do Black Panther 2 because we said that we would, and if we cancel it now, we're going to seem unreliable. I just thought of how messed up it would be if people started just assassinating famous actors just so that they don't get sequels to movies that they might have not liked. Jesus. But, like, is this going to be like Leia from Rise of Skywalker? Did they film anything with Chadwick Boseman yet? Did they even start filming? Imagine if, like, they had already filmed everything that hasn't had Chadwick Boseman in it, and then he passed away. Sorry, I know I shouldn't be laughing, but, like, geez. Like, I'm just thinking, like, is he going to be CGI? Did they film some scenes with him and they're going to try and incorporate those scenes and make it some sort of fulfilling end? Is Chadwick Boseman not going to appear at all? And if he doesn't, how are they going to address that? And how are they going to still make the movie somehow feel satisfying to the audience and make the audience feel like it was still worth making? All these people are talking about how someone else might take up the mantle, but I'm just thinking, it's called Black Panther 2, and sure, maybe someone else will be crowned Black Panther. But, like, if you're not gonna try recasting Black Panther, it just seems weird, you know? It just feels like such a waste, you know? Like, it is nice that we got to see Chadwick Boseman in Captain America Civil War, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame, but it kind of feels to me the same way back in 2019 when our greatest concern was it seemed like Spider-Man wasn't going to be in the MCU. All that was going through my head was, it was nice to have him while he was still around, but it seemed very clear that Marvel was still planning to do a lot more with him. You know, it does seem like Marvel did have a lot of plans for Black Panther, and maybe they're going to do that with whoever takes up the mantle, but I feel like if you're going to do that, then why not just recast him at that point? It is going to be very interesting. Like, at least with Leia, Rise of Skywalker was supposed to be the end of her story anyway. Whereas, in Chadwick Boseman's case, feels like it wasn't supposed to be the end of his journey at all. It was supposed to be like just the beginning, like setting up other stuff. And now, if they do end up using archived footage or CGI or whatever, they're going to have to craft the movie around it, and they're going to have to craft... Because Leia, at least, wasn't exactly a main character. I think she was supposed to be one of the main characters, but she was kind of just a supporting character, really. We had Rey, Finn, and the other guy, Poe. But in Black Panther 2, Black Panther is the main character. They're going to have to craft the movie around the idea of finishing off Chadwick Boseman's story, and maybe he's not even going to appear in the movie. I feel so kind of awful for saying this, but I feel like it's probably the case with a lot of people. The thing that I'm looking forward to the most is seeing how they managed to pull this off. Next up is What If Season 1. I was really, really looking forward to this show, but it doesn't look like it's going to be as good as I thought. The idea of a what if show is amazing, you know, like the idea, you know, and you don't have Robert Downey Jr., I assume, even though he was in the trailer, but maybe he just doesn't speak. Because I'm thinking a good episode that they could try is what if Iron Man died at the end of the Avengers? Because while I haven't seen the movie, I do know that Iron Man like goes in the missile and then he just barely falls through the portal and Hulk saves him and then it looks like he's dead, but then suddenly he gasps and then starts asking about shawarma or whatever. I saw that scene. And I'm just wondering, They could do an episode, what if Iron Man had actually died there? What if he didn't suddenly wake up? What if he was actually dead? They could do that, because they wouldn't need Robert Downey Jr. to play, you know? Like, it just seems so weird, you know? They're gonna have to do all these what if scenarios of like, you know, what if this event happened differently? And they're gonna be like, I feel like they're gonna have to craft a lot of these ideas around how come Iron Man and Captain America aren't getting involved. But it seems like the only real actual what if that we're getting is what if Peggy Carter became Captain Britain. Which is interesting enough, but honestly I don't feel like that's a real like top tier idea. And then we're getting what if Peter Parker was Hawkeye? What if Black Panther was Star-Lord? Like, when I heard that they're doing what if Black Panther was Star-Lord, I was like, what? Wait, what? Like, what? So are you just gonna have the actor literally just saying Star-Lord's line? Or are you gonna say, like, are you gonna have it like, how would Black Panther, like, how would Star-Lord act if he was the Black Panther character? But how would T'Challa grow up to be Star-Lord? Like, does he have the same back? I just don't get it. What if Black Panther was Star-Lord? What if Peter Parker was Hawkeye? That sounds like an idea that you would find at the absolute scraping the bottomest bottom of the barrel there is. And they're using it in season 1. Now, I know that there's this Watcher character and he's going to be observing all these parallel universes. When I saw a leaked picture of Star-Lord in the cave at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy, the first thing that I thought of was, oh, it's the new timeline that they created in Avengers Endgame when they went back. They returned the orb, somehow. Who knows how Captain America returned those stones. And then Star-Lord maybe wakes up too late and doesn't manage to get it in time. It's like, it's going to be a continuation off of that timeline that they already created. But no, apparently not. It's just what if Black Panther was Star-Lord? I don't get that. And apparently there's going to be a Watcher character, and I guess they're going to bring all these universes together through the Multiverse of Madness. Looking forward to seeing how that plays off. I really wish that they would go all out with this What If series. Like, what if the other half of everyone got dusted by Thanos, or at least the other half of the superheroes? Next up is Loki. I'm sorry, I saw the trailer. It didn't really impress me. It was just kind of whatever. But the thing that I'm really looking forward to is the fact that they are continuing off that idea of Loki escaping with the Tesseract and seeing where he goes, and maybe picking up Mjolnir along the way so that it makes sense why he's in Thor Love and Thunder. I am really looking forward to seeing that, even if the only reason that I am looking forward to the TV show is to see how they do this alternate universe thing. Next up is What If Season 2. Because What If Season 2 is confirmed, and the only reason why I'm ranking this slightly higher than What If Season 1 is because I feel like maybe What If Season 2 will be when we actually get into the interesting what if ideas, but who knows it. Like, were they planning to, like, why is it animated? Like, it's not just because of the pandemic, it was meant to be animated from the start, and I'm just wondering, like, were they gonna have the Peter Parker as Hawkeye character and the T'Challa as Star-Lord character incorporated into the movies? Can't really do that if Chadwick Boseman's dead and you refuse to recast him. Maybe they would do a recasting of voice, like a re-voice casting? I don't know, stupid. Like, would they have it like Space Jam style with animated characters next to whatever? Next up is the Black Widow movie. A movie that I'm not really looking forward to from what I know about it. It just seems like a movie that'll show what Black Widow was doing between Civil War and Infinity War. They both end with war. But what I'm mainly looking forward to is what Film Theory brought up. The fact that this movie has to be hiding something. It's the opening of Phase 4. It feels like such a new... Like, the thing that throws me off guard is the fact that it does just seem like a normal movie. But, like, my dad even said that he's not looking forward to it because Black Widow's dead. What does he care what she was doing? I don't really think that's not really a reason to not be interested in what the character was doing. But, like, yeah, like, I'm just thinking, like, I'm not really looking forward to this movie. But Film Theory just brought up the interesting idea, like, this is not just the start of Phase 4. This is the start of after the Infinity Saga. It has to be hiding something important. Oh, what do you know? We're in the final 8. I never thought I'd get here. Okay, number 8 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I don't know what's going on here, but Quantumania sounds awesome. Maybe it's going to tie into the Multiverse of Madness. That's not just referring to the Doctor Strange, it's referring to whatever they're planning to do with this multiverse thing, because that's gotta be what they're doing, eh? They gotta do something to top Thanos. Jesus. I'm like laughing at that now, but who knows? Maybe you're watching in the year 2060 and Thanos is now considered. But I don't know. I remember What Culture made a little video where they were going through what they thought. They were thinking that there was going to be a Star-Lord standalone movie. Like, what the heck? As they point out, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are normally about Star-Lord anyway. Maybe it'd just be like a prequel thing. I don't know. But they brought up the interesting idea of what if the third Ant-Man movie is Ant-Man, the Wasp, and the Bee. So it goes Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man, the Wasp, and the Bee. And they just add a new character every single time, and then they have their own little mini Avengers. I guess they're not doing that, but Quantumania sounds interesting. And who knows, maybe the Bee or someone else will pop up. I mean, obviously, there's going to be more than 2 characters, unless we're going a Big Finish Scherzo style. Oh my god, what if it's a movie of just Ant-Man and the Wasp and whatever the Quantumania is? I'd watch that. Next up is WandaVision, number 7, between January 15th, 2021 and February 19th, 2021. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is coming out 2022. Black Widow is coming out May 7th, 2021. So I guess WandaVision is what's going to start out. Now, when I heard that they were making a TV show about Scarlet Witch and Vision, I groaned in anguish because I do not care about those characters. Like, they're fine. I don't have anything against them. It's just I do not care about them. When I heard that there was going to be a show, like I thought that Loki was supposed to come first and then WandaVision, and I was just like, not watching that. I'm not getting Disney Plus for frickin' WandaVision. And the main thing that really ticked me off was, is Scarlet Witch just going to bring Vision back from the dead? Because that completely undermines his death and makes it completely irrelevant. Like, sure, Scarlet Witch was a bit ticked off at Thanos during Avengers Endgame and got the upper hand for a while. But that was just for a bit. Scene didn't even need to be. Like, it just made no sense. But the trailer really got me fascinated by it. I remember, like, oh yeah, the thing that I was going to say after the trailer is that someone made, like, a poll of things that anticipate from Comic-Con. And they only had, like, 2 things from Marvel, like WandaVision and Loki, I think. No, it was Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki. And I commented saying, like, they only had room for so many things on the poll, but I said that I never thought that I'd say this in a million billion years. But the thing that I was looking forward to most was WandaVision. I saw a comment somewhere saying that's SJW propaganda. I have no clue how they're making that argument. The only way that I feel like you could ever make that argument is by saying, oh, well, one of the co-stars is female, and the female's name comes first, WandaVision. Even that is a really stupid argument. But it looks like Scarlet Witch is kind of essentially going insane, like slightly, like calmly going insane, not being able to handle Vision's death. And her mind powers are shifting reality and making everyone think that everything is fine when in reality it isn't. Kind of like It's a Good Life from Twilight Zone. You can watch my reaction to that on my channel. But, assuming it's still up and stuff like that, unless copyright or whatever happens, or... I'm not sure if it's Scarlet Witch's powers are taking over the whole world or if it's just the neighborhood. It could be interesting if it's the whole world, because then I would wonder, what about the other superheroes? Are they going to show up and they're also under the spell? But I also think it would be really interesting if it was just the neighborhood, because that really, like, confines it, you know? It's just these poor, innocent people who just happen to live in the same neighborhood as her, and they're forced to live under this happiness spell. Which seems fine, you know? Like, I always say that I'd rather be happy in the Matrix than be aware that what I'm doing. Because even like now, like, this is essentially the red... Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you'd rather be happy in a Matrix and it's not real, or be in the real world but be sad. But even when you're in the real world, you don't even know, maybe it is the Matrix. Maybe, like, when you're in the Matrix, you don't even know that's real. So just take the blue pill, goddammit. But who knows, you know? I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I really am. And apparently my brother's got Disney Plus on whatever, so hopefully that works out. Maybe I'll do a podcast. Number 6 Is that where we're at? Number 6? Yeah. Is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, coming out in 2023. Well, it's supposed to come out this year. Probably wouldn't have anyway, thanks to the pandemic. Yeah, it's a huge James Gunn, whatever, like, frick off. Like, no one's perfect. You know, where do we draw the line between James Gunn and Logan Paul? But like, you know, James Gunn just said a few mean things. But you grow as people, you know? And like, the actor who played Drax went out of his way to do some digging and found out that the guy who exposed James in the first place actually said a few weird things himself in the past. He sent it to Marvel. That was so hilarious. He's like, it's not just about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, it's his mistreatment. But yeah, apparently everything's back on track now, it's just the movie's coming out super late. But now I'm wondering, what the hell? Like, does Marvel actually have a game plan? Or are they somehow really, really good at just making stuff up? Because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was supposed to come out... Wasn't it supposed to come out, like it was almost going to be the opening of Phase 4. Now it seems like it's going to be the finale of Phase 5 or the opening of Phase 6. It's like, what the hell? Like, because, you know, when I was thinking, like, you know, like... It's so weird. Like, if you actually watch the Captain America trilogy, get someone who's never seen the MCU before and make them watch Captain America the First Avenger, Captain America Winter Soldier, and Captain America Civil War without any of the other movies in between. As a trilogy, you know, like Captain America the First Avenger, okay, that was an average movie. Captain America Winter Soldier, really good movie, but like, who the heck is S.H.I.E.L.D. and Nick Fury? Or Black Widow? And then Captain America Civil War, who the frick are all these guys? And like, I was just thinking, like, you know, because is Fat Thor gonna be there? Because he was there at the end of Avengers Endgame. But now apparently Thor Love and Thunder is coming out before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So what the heck is gonna happen? But you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, I didn't see the first one, but everyone says it's good. And then the second one I saw and thought it was good. I like the Groot, push the button, don't push the button. I am Groot. Groot. I am Groot. At number 5, did I say 5? I don't know. Is the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special coming out in late 2022. So apparently before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as well. I'm looking forward to it, because, you know, it's gotta be better than Star Wars Holiday Special, right? I actually haven't seen that before, but I've seen the pitch meeting. I know how bad it is. Or maybe I don't. Maybe there's an entire level of badness that I'm not even aware of. But, you know, I'm just thinking, like, you know, because, yeah, if anyone in the MCU that we've been introduced to so far can pull off a holiday special, it would be the Guardians of the Galaxy. But, like, it'd be super weird to see these space people who've probably never even heard of Christmas or Hanukkah or anything like that suddenly setting up a Christmas tree or Hanukkah menorah. It's like, or Kwanzaa menorah, if that's what they're called. I don't know how they're going to do it. But... you know, I feel like I don't have any ideas at the moment, but I feel like if you threw me into the writer's room, I feel like there is something that you can do with it. I feel like there is a way that you can pull it off. Just, you gotta make sure that's not cheesy, you know? You can't have them all stand in a circle like a bunch of a-holes and talk about how holiday isn't just about Christmas. Like, what the frick? Like... isn't kind of every day a holiday for them? Like, every day they don't pick up a distress call? Like, that's the impression that I got from their first appearance in Avengers Infinity War. I always thought, like, if you could preserve a movie from each year, you would have to preserve The Avengers for 2012. You'd have to preserve Guardians of the Galaxy for 2014, just so that you can have Infinity War for 2018, and have people lose their minds at the thought of two completely separate movies colliding. They wouldn't know that Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers are similar, I think. I don't know. Like, part of the same universe. You know what I'm talking about. This video's gone so long, sorry. At number 4 is Armor Wars. I had this ranked really high, but I just find that idea interesting. You know, Tony Stark is dead. Apparently the comic Armor Wars is all about, you know, Tony Stark's greatest fear is his technology being fallen into the wrong hands, and the comic story is that actually happening. Robert Downey Jr. isn't on board anymore, supposedly. So the TV show is going to be about Tony Stark's technology gets fallen into the wrong hands, and War Machine gets out there. War Machine, I don't really know much about him, but I think he deserves his own series, because apparently he's been in the series since Iron Man 2, the third movie. The third movie. Like, jeez. Star Wars is doing their film trilogies, and here in the MCU, the third movie is like the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. War Machine apparently wasn't even in the first Avengers movie, so yeah, give him his own show already. At number 3 is Secret Invasion. I don't know anything about this. It's something to do with the Skrulls taking over, shape-shifting, invasion of the body. Well, not body snatchers, but body formers, copying, whatever, I don't know. Apparently it's just a really good story and it was really big in the comics. You know, it feels weird like saying like, why are you taking such a big event and putting it into a TV show? Well, TV shows have more runtime and supposedly don't have as much of a budget. And these TV shows seem like they might as well just have the movie budget. Imagine if each episode has a bigger budget than the movie. It's like, what the frick? Just release a 6-hour movie. People will gladly sit in the theater. They'll just be glad to be around other people, you know? After all this stupid pandemic. I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do with it. What they see. To see what they do with it. Not the. At number 2 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I thought it was and the multiverse. Apparently it's and I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Who knows, maybe in the future titles will be so vitally important or whatever. But it's coming out March 25th, 2022, so still a while away. But, jeez, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that. Maybe incorporating the multiverse. It's not a Mysterio lie anymore, supposedly. And apparently Scarlet Witch is going to be in it, possibly as a villain, which I really want to see. Because I feel... And apparently there might be this Nightmare character who's apparently this big Doctor Strange villain. My dad thought that Dormammu and Thanos were the same guy for a while. And yeah, apparently Nightmare might have a gender swap, so Nightmare will be female. People of course freaked out about that. Personally, I feel like we don't have enough content out there. Guys, please, leave a comment down below of every single piece of fictional media that you can think of, or really anything, that has a male hero and a female villain, where they actually, like, battle it out. I feel like there's not that many. It's normally always male, male, female, female, or possibly female hero and male villain, but I feel like there's not that many things where there's a male hero and a female villain. So I am looking forward to it. Doctor Strange versus Scarlet Witch and Female Nightmare. Go in the Multiverse of Madness. And at number 1, probably already know what it is. Whatever the frick the title is, Spider-Man Homeworlds 3. Coming out December 17th, 2021. Who knows, maybe by the time that I'm editing this video, the title will be out. Maybe this is going to be a video that's going to stick on my laptop for the next couple of months, or maybe I'll upload it quickly, I don't really know. But, is it the 2 previous Spider-Man? Because on the Wikipedia page, all it's confirmed is that Electro's coming back and Doc Ock's coming back. But apparently, like, it's a real big deal that Andrew Garfield is back, Tobey Maguire is in talks / he's back, Green Goblin is back, Sandman's back, Green Goblin from The Amazing Spider-Man, the actor was seen where they were filming, Mary Jane is back from the original one, frick that character. But even if it isn't, I feel like it would be the biggest letdown ever. I feel like the MCU might possibly be scrambling because they might have seen all the fan theories talking about, oh, I think it's a Spider-Man multiverse thing, and then the MCU was like, we gotta do that. It's what the fans want. Or maybe they've given up on the fans after they freaked out about Moon Knight dealing with mental health issues or whatever. After they asked it to be dark and gritty in the first place, like the Snyder movie, whatever. Did they even ask that? I don't know, who cares? But even if that's not the route they go, I'm interested to see what they do, to see what they do now that Spider-Man's identity is revealed to the world. It's just an interesting continuation. I want to see what Flash Thompson has to say. That was a 14-minute long clip there. So, this is a really long video, longer than I meant it to be. But that's all the future MCU content that's been officially announced at the time that I'm filming this. Fantastic Four, I don't really know where I'd put it. Fantastic Four will probably honestly be near the bottom because I haven't seen any Fantastic Four media. Apparently they're good in the comics, but every single movie that they've been in sucks. Hopefully the MCU is able to pull it off. Obviously, like with Spider-Man, if anyone can redeem those characters, it would be the MCU. But the Fantastic Four are in especially a bad place because while Spider-Man at least started out good and then got poor and then got into the MCU, the Fantastic Four is just kind of seen by the general public as stupid. And if the Fantastic Four movie flops, going to make the MCU and the Fantastic Four look really bad. So, let me know what movies and TV shows you're anticipating the most and the least. Leave your own rankings if you want. I know there's 23 things, possibly even more by the time that you're seeing it. But leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if you didn't. Comment down why. Subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.